What you're going to need to do is you're going to have to look for fourth options in lots of areas of your business until you find the magic combination. Here's a good example of a company that found the magic combination. Urban Outfitters is a retailer founded in Philadelphia, where I'm from. They have grown remarkably quickly, the same pattern. They struggle for years to find their magic formula from 1970 to about 2002, 2003, and then they get it right, and poof, they start exploding. Now, they consistently grow faster, and they are more profitable than their competition. Here's the 5-year average revenue growth rate for Urban Outfitters versus their closest competitor in terms of revenue, American Eagle Outfitters, than their peer average, closest 10 competitors and similar revenues. And then look at their profit margins. See, it's not hard to grow faster than your competition. All you have to do is shrink your margins, right? Charge lower prices, overinvest in sales and marketing, overinvest in service, but that's not what Urban Outfitters does. So we got a chance to interview the founder of Urban Outfitters and asked him, how is it that you're able to unlock this level of profitable growth and your competitors are not able to copy it? And he said, well, it was really when we discovered 5 things, 5 fourth options. It took us a while to experiment and rethink how the industry operates, but there are 5 things that we discovered created the magic formula for us. The first is, they said, we decided that we only serve one customer, college students. And if the Gap wanted to copy this element of our strategy, we realized they couldn't. They'd have to say, we don't care about your pregnant wife, so we're not going to sell maternity wear. We don't care about your kids, so we're not going to sell children's wear. We're not going to sell you a tie. Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down on whether you think it's likely that the Gap would adopt this element of their strategy. Thumbs down. So I think great strategies often begin with having a very clear definition of who we serve and who we don't serve, and really being focused on that. Second thing he said, well, we started selling used clothing. Now, most of what we sell is new, but if you want to buy a reconstituted concert t-shirt or a vintage pair of jeans at Urban Outfitters, you can do that. It's messy, it's complex. If the Gap wanted to copy this element of our strategy, they'd have to send some buyers to India, source some jeans, ship them back to California, take them out of the container. They'd have to wash them and dry them and iron them and skew them and fold them and sort them and send them out to the stores. Now tell me, what is the probability that the Gap will adopt this element of Urban Outfitters' strategy? Thumbs down. This is enormously inefficient. And actually, Urban Outfitters is inefficient. But since they're inefficient and everyone else is trying to be efficient, they're different. And since they're different, they can charge higher prices, so they're more profitable. Third thing he said is, we realized we were recruiting in the wrong way. We were recruiting from business schools. We needed to start recruiting artists. We need to recruit from design schools and art schools. And once we have artists running our stores, we can give them more freedom. If you were a manager of Urban Outfitters, if you are a manager of Urban Outfitters and you go to work and you see someone's thrown out an old rusty lamp and you think, wow, that would look pretty cool in the men's section of the store, you could actually take that and put it on display in the men's section. What do you think happens to the Gap manager that shows up with a rusty lamp? Right. Why does that matter? Well, now every Urban Outfitters looks a little different. The Urban Outfitters in one part of town looks and feels a little different than the Urban Outfitters in the other part of town. And how many people here care about that? So you would choose a store to shop for clothing because you know that this store will look different than the other stores. How many people is that important to? And how many people are in college? See, Urban Outfitters doesn't care about us. They know that that's not important to us, but they know it's important to their core customer. If you ask college students, what they care about towards the top of their attribute list is something like, this is real, this is authentic, this is my Urban Outfitters. And I can get that at Urban Outfitters, not at the Gap. Now, this strategy is not a secret. Anyone can copy it. All the Gap would have to do is abandon 80% of their market, disrupt their supply chain, fire all their managers and hire new managers, and they can copy the Urban Outfitters strategy. The cost of doing that's higher than the cost of not doing that. And that's why they don't do it. Think of it again as the Legos. You come up with a set of interesting fourth options, you start stacking them on top of each other, and you build something that looks different.